Hi guys,
And
Peaches here, and welcome to the Peachcast episode 7. I believe it's on. It it's confusing with the numbers, but we have our guest Dingo Fox and FallenGone, and we're going to be talking about how FV is just not a good place and has been treating us like crap for the past year or so.
all I gotta say in this, it's kind of weird when you get a group because Peaches is sending me this stuff. See, I'm the outside person in this, and man, I was reading up on all of this, and I'm like, what the mental hell have you guys had to go through? Because I mean, this is like some mental, basically shit. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, to say that, but it really is. It's some mental crap.
Yeah, but essentially when I was admin, that he pretty much told you that anyone that was banned, if even if it's friends, you have to basically block them. As
No,
if
you had
he,
to block them or ask permission to talk to them
yeah,
every time you want to talk to them. And so, when Peaches was banned, I was not allowed to talk to Peaches unless I had permission to talk to Peaches. So every time that I had to talk to Peaches, I had to go to Simba, be like, "Hey, can I talk to Peaches?" So every time Peaches talked to me, I had to report it to Simba. And so literally, you had like a watch on you 24/7 of what you were doing because I had to report everything that you were doing to Simba or else I would get in trouble. And that was complete bullshit. And I did not like how they were treating you because you were different. And they were treating me differently because I could not spell that well. Again, if you have ever watched my videos on Furry Valley, part one, I was very honest and I was very humble with them so to see if they would receive what I'm saying, but instead that they decided to attack my YouTube video. And if you read the comments, it's really more they're only telling 1/8 of the story, and I'm willing to say the whole story, where they're only saying the side of the story that incriminates me, incriminates Peaches, incriminates people who are admins, and it's just complete rubbish that
Oh, I get it.
now I'm saying my side of the story, and then part two was me making fun of them attacking me. Again, Peaches knows my sense of humor. Part
Mhm.
two of my YouTube video was me completely mocking them of how they were treating me and how I would sort of play along with it because if you don't play with the perception that they have, they want you to stay in that box and act in that box. And if you can't act within that box, you pretty much get in trouble.
Oh
no,
yeah, exactly. So what started happening here, where we're at, because that's a similar situation we had here, is we had an admin that was in charge of the group that is
mm-hmm.
the owner of the group. And he leaves two other admins in charge of actually posting events. And so they were posting all of these events from all these other furs, but the admin was basically looking one direction, the owner was looking the other direction, and all this illegal shit was starting to happen. And it was things like people would go camping. Well, camping became code word for going out into the forest and taking acid. And then it got to the point to where we had underage drinking. They hosted a bowling event where literally people then went on social media and told everybody, "Oh man, I'm so wasted because I was high as a motherfucker doing bowling." And what the hell? It's like no control. And literally then all hell broke loose. And how all hell broke loose was the group. And finally, when
Yeah,
people actually spoke the hell up and actually mentioned, hey, there's a guy sending lewd and disgusting pictures of himself to other people, we need to do something about it, they told us, shove it up our ass, we're full of shit.
and I mean what's sad about FV is I know they have what they call the after dog, and essentially most people 18 plus, but there has been times that underage people have been able to get in there.
Oh yeah. And they don't really do like are you really 18 check.
Yeah,
Luckily, I have a lot of
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No,
luckily
they.
I have an OnlyFans where luckily when they're like, "Oh, are you 18 plus?" All I did was to send my OnlyFans link, and they're like, "Oh, hey, he is 18 plus." And it's just like with me, if you ever went to the Mersuit interest channel, there's a fursuiter known as Odin Wolf, and he has publicly stated on YouTube, almost for 2 years that he does not want any of his Mersuit content out in the public anymore. Furry Valley has posted his Mersuit
Yeah,
content not once, not twice, but 3 times. And every time that they posted it, I have told them, please take it down.
and I've done
This
it with other
YouTuber
suitors as
has,
well.
yeah, and I have linked them to the YouTube video giving evidence, like physical evidence that this person wanted to be taken down, and they did not listen to me. And it's funny that they did not listen to me, someone who was watching out for Furry Valley,
The
and
thing
this
is,
was
they
when
done the same
I was
thing
loyal to them.
when they done the same thing when I would told them off about doing that, and they didn't do
Hmm.
anything.
Yeah, and more
Yeah.
and more people are just going to literally take those videos and upload them. Already, there's been 5 other fursuiters that have been uploading his earlier content and his older content into the adult atmosphere again. Several of his videos recently showed back up on Pornhub where he had removed them,
Yep.
and even still, it's like he was even admitting and being nice and open to people, telling people, hey, yes, I'm still mersuiting, yes, I'm still doing this stuff, but I have my own page that is 18 plus, and you have to be age verified on Twitter in order to see it. And that I get. Okay, great, you're age verifying. Thank you for doing the one thing that we're asking you to do, age verify. Thank you so much, because that's really a nice thing that you're age verifying. The wild thing about it is because a lot of people don't realize. I sent things to Odin when Odin was trying to better his channel. One of the things that I sent Odin was the Russian candies, and that's why you got the Russian candies and fursuit video. And then you also got the doggy do video with Majura, and the reason you got that video for was because I sent Odin doggy do. I was not expecting him to play it with Majura, but that's still funny as hell.
But
But
can you please tell Odin that I did honestly look out for him? I know me and Odin don't really have a good chemistry, but I do want him to know that I did look out for his best interest.
yeah, well, he'll
Yeah,
probably see this video. Look at how old Odin is. Odin is in his 30s. Okay? He has the right to be an adult. He has the right to go do his own thing. And
Exactly.
that's the one thing that's tough in the fandom is when you want to adult and be an adult, you can't. And that's the one thing every time you try, here comes the cancer culture right behind it. And it's like, no. No.
and one thing I remember was really funny was when I used to ask people for their age thing. I used to ask for their ID, and funny thing is, the Third Valley staff didn't like me doing that,
Oh no. And
which
you
is stupid because
oh no.
that's abiding
Oh
by
no.
the law.
Oh no, no, no. See, that's the one thing they'll never check. They'll never check ID.
Yeah,
They don't care. They don't care if you're of age or whatever. These groups will literally just sit down and go, "Oh, you're 18. Come on in. Oh, hey, you're 17. Come on in. Oh, you're 13. Ooh, little boy." That's
yeah,
exactly
pretty
what
much.
they look at it as. It's disgusting. It's deplorable behavior. Even one of the admins of the groups that I was a part of, basically came in and decided that he wanted his group to be 22 years of age only, so he could have wild orgies with everybody in the group.
Oh my God, no.
And I'm like, why do you think he wanted it to be 22 years of age? It's like, duh. It's like, come on, everybody. We're not stupid. We're not dumb. We're not blind. And it's worse because when you have younger members of the fandom coming into the fandom, they're going to start being taken advantage of from these older people. And
Yeah,
that's where things need to really, really goddamn stop. Because holy crappin' hell with videos. I mean, we've seen horrible videos pop up.
So there's one huge rule with Furry Valley that I'm going to tell you because I was removed by the Pokemon team, the DBD team, and then I was removed as an admin completely. So I'll just explain to you what happened with the Pokemon team because obviously, if you read the comments on my first video, they are leaving out major parts of that story. Same with the DBD team; they are leaving out major parts of the story, and I want to explain what's my side of the story and everything that went wrong with Furry Valley and how they pretty much put me in a box because I wasn't strong at spelling. I originally joined a YouTube team as a poet. Peaches can tell you I originally joined
Yeah.
a Furry Valley as a poet. And I was turned down pretty much instantaneously. He can pretty much confirm I was turned down instantly because they thought that this literature thing would not be a good fit for me. Where I'll actually send you guys a YouTube video. You have heard my poetry, Peaches, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like that's when I knew something was wrong, but I was like, you know what? Let's just brush it off. Let me just do cosplay instead. And so that's why I did a cosplay video instead of a poetry video, was because they wanted to limit me because they thought my spelling errors and my spelling mistakes were completely dyslexia, where my
Oh,
dyslexia is just only for spelling.
oh no, and that's the one thing that they'll always do. They'll always be the grammar nerd. You've got to be kidding me. They will always be the grammar, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And they're always the grammar nerd. I hate that to death. That absolutely ticked me off, especially when you get disabled people that come into the fandom and can't spell or have issues spelling, and the first damn thing they immediately go is, there needs to be a period, a punctuation, a capitalization. This is how you spell this correctly. You gotta do everything. Salute us. Hey, how are you?
And so I joined the Pokemon team because the party game team was not really matching up with my schedule, and so I was the Pokemon trading card guy, and I did Pokemon deck building workshop where I showed my intelligence in the game. I showed that I had knowledge in the game. I had experience in the game, and I was educating people. And then all of a sudden, my event started failing. So obviously, after my second failed event, I'm like, "Hey, can I have assistance? I'm trying to branch off from Pokemon." They did not want me to branch off of Pokemon at all because they're like, okay, you're only good at trading card game. Don't branch off of this. And I'm like, I'm trying to branch off of this. And so I got very frustrated because I'm like, hey, can I have question of the day? Can I have something to intrigue people into talking to me? And then I finally snapped at them after almost, I think, 5 weeks of having failed a week, five failed events. I was like, I'm sick of this. Listen to me. I want help. I'm trying to do things. You guys aren't listening to me. And then I was removed from the team because I was being toxic, where I was asking for help. I was kept on constantly asking for help where they weren't giving me help. I was like, hey, I'm trying to branch out. My other events are failing because I'm only known as Pokemon trading card guy. Can you guys help me out? Can I have question of the week? Can I have some way to talk to the chat? And they weren't giving me that opportunity. So
Exactly.
obviously, I had to redeem myself. So I was on Misk and YouTube for a bit, and I busted my ass off. I did it for every team. I did every Twitter. I literally trained so many people, and then I busted my ass off. I kept working and working and working, and then comms application popped up. Uh, God, I'm not trying to cry about this because this is where it stings the most. My second promotion, and it's the hardest topic for me to talk about because it you can just tell I'm just not trying to cry about it because it still stings to this day of how hard I worked on this, how hard I just to show them that they're wrong about me, how hard I pushed myself so physically hard. I
You
was
could
like, I deserve this promotion.
exactly, and this is the type of mentality that I've seen in groups that is absolutely horrible. Come into the group, set up your event. People will come to your event. No, they won't. They don't come to an event unless it's set up by an admin because then they know that they can come in and they can get high, drunk, or wasted or some other fucking screwed up thing. And that's what sucks because see, that's what happened in my first year in the fandom. My first year in the fandom, when I was a part of this group, I hosted an event and I was trying to bring other furs to come to this event. And we got a lot of people that came to this event. And then basically, we had another fur who basically came and was the only fur that showed up. and was my partner my first year in the fandom, and that relationship was great. That was my best summer relationship ever in the fandom, and sadly, within 6 months of that relationship, he was gone and buried due to health conditions, and um, and I kept trying to host new events and doing new things with the group. And every time I did a new event, they were like, "Oh, cool! This is a cool event. It's fine. It's fun." And then all of a sudden, I did the event. Oh, this is a bad event. Or we were asked from families who asked us to come to birthday parties to entertain their kids, and were willing to donate to animal charities in the group's name. And the admins came in and go, "No, our group doesn't do that." And then they went and did it anyways.
Mhm.
And
And I
and they're
also have a
they're
lot
ba-
more to say.
oh,
Yeah.
go right ahead.
So obviously with Pokemon, I was a Pokemon admin for such a long time. So one of the admins, the team leader currently, his name is Davis. I'm gonna drop you a screen share. He broke pretty much the number one rule of Furry Valley, which is you never should request money for people. I have a screen share right here where he asked me for money after pretty much Dark Fox was removed, and he celebrated Dark Fox removal, and he bullied Dark Fox harshly. And I mean, like, when he bullied Dark Fox, I mean, like, he forcefully kept on server muting him every time that he was in events. He would make fun of him and force everyone to bully him. Pretty much, Dark Fox was the bully victim, and before that, it was Fancy. He enforced bullying, and there's that one person that he always bullied. And once I was removed from the team, I was like, I have to get this person out as a team leader because they requested me for money. And they were like, "Oh, you're my best friend. Can you please give me some money?" And I knew it was complete bullshit. That's why I was not going to give him money. This is why I was holding on this. And I reported it to Simba. You know what he did? He just gave him a slap on the wrist. If this was anyone else, if
Yeah.
this was anybody else, they would have been removed from the server, snap of the fingers like that. But because this person does everything on the server, pretty much is loyal to the point where you could literally put a blindfold in front of him, and literally Simba could be murdering children like right in front of him with that blindfold in front of him. You could hear the screaming of the children being murdered. He would not notice it. And then his other friend Aurora, who is now T6, when she was a T5 and he was a T4, she told him T5 stuff, and that's against the rules too. And I bet she's doing the same thing with him as a T5 and she's a T6. I have people who have said, this is their thing. Again, um, an ex-admin Fancy, who was bullied, he told me his experience. And also Fancy sent me the same screen share that Peaches, he got the same message as Peaches, um, about the whole unban thing for the FurCon. And I was like, I
Yeah.
couldn't stay silent anymore. I could not stay silent anymore. So
That's what
obviously,
broke it for me. It's like basically they sent me that message saying pretty much to use me for fame and views because of fursuit and stuff, which is wrong, and I do
Oh
not
yeah.
agree with that.
Oh yeah, don't I understand that one. The group I was a part of decided, if you come into our group, we own your suit. You will do what we tell you to do.
Mhm.
That includes lie to the media, lie to the press, lie to anybody who asks, everything. And that's exactly what happened. When some of us decided enough was enough, they decided to attack them. That's how we ended up with the first attack from the 14-year-old girl. And the 14-year-old girl was just starting her YouTube channel on
Mhm.
YouTube. And the three admins and two of the owner's buddies came in and started attacking her, and basically, what she got in a lovely Telegram chat was, "You stupid expletive. You and your angel dragons do not belong in the fandom. Please leave. You are not welcome. We have had enough of you. You and your all ladies club should return home, spread your legs, let the expletive in, and have kids. Leave the fandom to us. We are the future and you are the past. You make us want to puke. People love us and hate your kind."
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that just reminds me how they treated Peaches, and hopefully Peaches can share his story after I finish mine. Um,
was, "What is your problem with angel dragons? My group has done nothing to attack you. The fandom is for everyone, not just you." And the problem is the two admins that they have now are friends of the owner. And the owner doesn't have a backbone because he's a pacifist and he basically just looks the other way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I got the hell out of there, and that's why 14 people came with me. And then we got the major group that came in that hosted events there and started attacking disabled people. And this is the sick one that I got was, "So I am to inform you that you have been asked not to attend meets or interact with the group on a real life scale until farther notice. Approaching the group in a real life scale will result in being asked to back away, and if you do not venue, security or law enforcement will get involved. I will inform you of changes to this status as time comes." This was sent to a disabled fur in a wheelchair.
My God, what an asshole
And
thing to
they
do.
only banned him and removed him from the group because he was in a wheelchair.
My God, that's disgusting. That this reminds me of like, so I filled out my com application and I spent 4 days writing about DBD and how you could run the DBD team a lot more efficiently because I was turned down to do the Dead by Daylight content because they told me no to poetry. So I was like, okay, I'll do Dead by Daylight content because that's what I like, and they told me no. So then it went to cosplay content. Now, Peaches, you can read my new bio where pretty much my bio I changed just for Smite against Furry Valley, and that's when I started the premeditation of me getting ready to quit. So I filled my com application for Dead by Daylight, and Simba said, "Oh wow, you did a really good job. I'm impressed." And then Chicken Dash, an old T6, told me, "I would never see this happen in a million years coming out of your mouth or out of your writing skills, what you wrote for your com application. I'm thoroughly impressed." And I'm like, "I really hope I get this team." And he complimented me. He's like, "You should have been a T4, and I will try my everything if you do party games for you to become T4." And this was when I legitimately started crying. Like, I was hardcore crying because I was working so hard on YouTube, and I was hinted multiple times that they were using me just for my fursuit, and I was just crying because how hard I just worked, and I did not get that promotion. Like, Peaches can tell you how hard I worked. Like,
Yeah.
he's the witness of how hard I pushed myself, and it was just they didn't want me to grow because I couldn't spell that well. Like, that is not empowering someone. That's not calling a place called home. That's what I escaped many years ago, was being discriminated against. And I'm
Yeah,
sorry, but it's just
it's
it's
gotten back
just
to
Yeah.
discrimination.
so and it's so and it still hurts me to this day because the person who they promoted instead of me got demoted already, and they're probably removed from the server. And I was like, I was right. I should have been T4. And then all of a sudden, when DBD happened, the team leader couldn't lead for fucking shit. And literally, I was retraining the whole team. Chicken Dash knew that. And I got in trouble for legitimately retraining the team, where literally the team leader could not train the team correctly. And I told the new trialists, we're like, hey, can you train us? We won't tell the higher tier admins what's going on because they knew that I could not do anything. So literally, I was in secret retraining the whole entirety of the DVD team. And one of the people who I got really close to, Entity, they tried to ship him with Zira, and they tried to like make him break up with his boyfriend. So Zira had another boyfriend, but Entity was 19, and I think Zira's around his 20s. So like I was like, you don't force people to have your own fantasy, and that's what they did with people was,
Exactly what
they
they.
put you in the box, and that's
Yeah.
what they did with me.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
frustrated because I was honestly, you can tell that I was loyal to them because, I every time they posted Oda Wolf content, I always like, hey, take this down. Here's the video proof. Hey, take this down. Here's the video proof. I literally went to the chain of command. I'm like, take this down. I have video proof. I know you guys know I don't like this person, but I want to respect his wishes. Please, as someone who works in the field, if someone says that they're no longer in the field, respect the person's wishes for fuck's
Yeah.
sake.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Respect the person's wishes because there are people that do the adult side of the fandom, and yes, and there are people that do adult media, and yes, there have been people that are a part of the adult media that have left the fandom to go pursue careers in the adult media. And yes, when they want their stuff taken down, you should respect that. But the problem is, no group will ever respect that, and that's the sick part about it. And then it gets even worse when you get into like what I went through. What I went through was the most horrific thing. I literally had people messaging me day and night about these admins, and you could tell when it gets so bad in a group that the owners look in one way, the admins think that they're top shit, and that all the furries below them are sitting there messaging other furries asking why the hell do we feel like he's Hitler and we're the Jews?
Mm-hmm.
And when you get
And
a
like,
that physically asks you that they literally feel like a Holocaust victim, that is absolutely appalling.
yeah,
And
and
then
like, uh,
then a week later, the big event happened. The big event in that group happened where the admin decided that we didn't like a disabled fur, so we're going to destroy his life. And how they did it? They basically went to their buddy buddy system in the group, grabbed all their friends, had all their friends complaining this one person was a pedophile, and he wasn't. They
yeah,
completely got him convicted and thrown out of the group, and he wasn't a pedophile. He was disabled, he had Asperger's, and they basically removed him just because he had Asperger's.
mhm.
And they
and
wanted
that's
him away.
that's it. And that's what they did with Peaches. Like they
Yeah.
removed him because of his disability, and it just like my loyalty was dwindling after like my first 3 weeks, and then pretty much after not getting my first promotion, I sort of shoved it off. And then once they removed Peaches, that's when my loyalty really did dwindle. And then after not getting my second promotion, I was like, okay, I'm starting to get done with this. And then after not being DBD team lead and having a team leader who could not competently run the team where I could easily run the team easily better, and there's evidence that I did run it better, but I deleted everything for value related because I was like, I don't want this to stain my content anymore. I want to pretty much be like, I'm anti-FP. I hopefully people will follow me and help me out because I was obviously just used for my fursuit. Again, Chicken Dash told me they were only using me for my fursuit. They had no, they only gave me DBD Coley just to shut me up. Where they noticed that I was actually the one running the team, and they wanted to punish me. Where actually they should have punished the team leader who was doing such an abysmal job. Where literally I was picking up the ashes and I was like legitimately building the team from the ground up.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the crap they'll do. They'll do, hi, we'll use you for this, we'll use you for that, we'll use you for everything. It's an absolute freaking nightmare. That's why the one grateful thing that happened with my time in the fandom and when I got out, I was so happy just to get the hell out of there, was uh, we had a fur who was in the process of losing his home. And uh, my friend's boyfriend happened to be a part of this group that was losing their apartment. So I had volunteered to have them come and stay with me. And the one kid, his boyfriend, smart as a brick, went and got a job, went and got his own place. The other kid, dumb as a nail coffin. He literally freaking was sitting there on his ass, wouldn't get a job, wouldn't go get his GED. I'm like, how the hell did you end up with a roommate that's this stupid? And it sounds terrible, but it's like when you're trying to push somebody to learn, to help out, to take care of bills and stuff, and then you're getting taken advantage of. You have these damn mooch furs that keep showing up. And the graceful thing that I was so happy for when I finally left that group and started working on my own group and my own charity was hearing that he is in debt for nearly $4,000 and his girlfriend's having to pay for everything for him.
That's some karma right there. I can actually tell you this because I'm comfortable telling you guys this. I had a second fursuit, and I only told like a handful of people that I had a second fursuit. And the people who knew I had a second fursuit, they're like, "You should post it on the Furry Valley YouTube channel. You should make shorts for the Furry Valley channel. Oh, you should definitely do some use that second fursuit for the Furry Valley YouTube channel." I'm like, thank you for making it very obvious that you're using me for my fursuit. And I got a VTube shortly after a couple months ago, and I kept that really under wraps. Like I told no one about it until literally part two, where I was like, "Oh look, I have a VTube," and I was making fun of the situation of good thing I didn't tell them about this, because if I told them I also had a high quality VTube, they would also be like, "Oh, you should make some V2 content. Oh, you should do this instead, do this instead, do that instead." And I'm like, you guys are just using me for my clout, and I have evidence that you guys are using me for my clout. And it's just like, um, if you use Vent in the Void, it's in a T6 chat with your name and your user ID. If you use Advice, same song and dance, all Patreon money. I think all admins know this, but not the public. Um, all the money that you donate to the Patreon that's for the Discord server goes straight to Simba's pocket. Does not go to any T6s, to T5s or T4s or T3s.
Yeah, it
Again, that's
was
why I want
not
my
even
content
paid.
deleted. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why I want my content deleted, and hopefully,
yeah.
hopefully this collaboration can help me build my YouTube channel. Um, at the same time, I want to be honest. I want to say the full story of, the
No,
bullying that I witnessed, the
thing.
unfair treatment that I witnessed, and everything. It's just
But
complete bullshit.
that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. More people need to come forward. But the problem is we have what we call victim complex. And victim complex works like this. We will tell you what to say. You will say it. If you don't, you're out. And when you
Hmm.
freaking do that to people, that creates a mental mentality in someone's head of, oh shit, I've done something wrong.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
And
that
I knew.
that's absolutely fucked up. That's what I've been seeing lately. Is even at a convention, the sick one came from a convention. The sick one that came from a convention that basically told its convention members that we won't allow people that are disabled to come in and volunteer. If they try to, then we will throw them out. Or my other personal favorite was another convention which basically decided, oh, you're LGBTQ, you can't call them your husband, your boyfriend, your partner. They have to be your friend only.
Hmm.
And
Oh.
I'm like, yeah, you support our community, my asshole.
Hmm. And my final chart, what led me to quit was Davis gave me permission to run Town of Salem and Truth or Dare any way that I want. As long as I gave him updates, he did not care, because he did not know how to run Telegram. So obviously, I had to train those people how to work Truth or Dare, and there were 8 trialists and went down to one, and then there was one trialist for for Town of Salem, and since it was my project, Town of Salem was my project. Peaches can tell you that.
Yeah.
Town of Salem was my project, and I wrote to myself, if they dare try to limit me, like they limit me with Dead by Daylight, I will quit hands down and tell the truth, nothing but the truth. And this is me being completely honest. At the same time, I have the police involved right now. I have the military involved because I know that they're going to try to haze me, try to dox me, try to do everything in their power to fear me into saying that I was lying or I'm just angry. I am
Yeah.
saying the truth. I have the Massachusetts police on my side. I have the military on my side. Luckily, I have a lot of connections because luckily OnlyFans you get to know your clientele, and I can pull some strings to keep me protected. So luckily, I have protection because I work in the not safe for work field, which I don't want to be part of anymore. I want to be more safe for work. I want to do YouTube. I want to do Twitch. I don't want to be part of that because again, I I have body confidence, but I don't have self confidence.
No, and that's the one thing that ticked me off because everybody kept coming to me at conventions. Oh, you want to go do a porno? Oh, you want to go do an orgy? No, I am not a whore. You
Mm-hmm.
immediately assume because I wear a fox suit, I'm a whore.
Mm-hmm.
You immediately assume because I wear a bunny, I give people blowjobs.
Mm-hmm.
And you immediately assume that because I'm a dragon, I like to have eggs stuffed up my butt.
No, isn't it boar for dragons?
It's that too, but it's also the egg fetish. Yeah, I was
Nah.
like, I got done talking to one person there, and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Do you even know anything about my character? Do you even know anything about my suit? And they just immediately look at you like, I don't care, you got a big dick.
That's just disgusting.
It's
Hopefully you meet
and,
better people.
well, that's why I started my own group with rules outside of the fandom.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got tired of these people being in charge of groups and not taking responsibility for their actions and allowing the group to basically take a mob mentality. And it's not only a mob mentality, it's pretty much you do what you're going to do, you do or else you're out. In my case, I don't go to conventions. I don't have any local furry conventions I can go to because I'm not allowed at them.
Yeah,
Because I
but I
I mean,
understand that
similar with
frustration.
me with the local firm meets here, it got to a point that it was that toxic that I just felt uncomfortable and everyone gave me bad looks and that.
yeah. Oh God. So when my partner died, okay, I'm the one who arranged his funeral service because his pardon the language when I say this, bitch ass roommate decided it was a good idea to try to bury him back in another state and not tell anybody he had passed away. That pissed me off. I went to the group, I did the freaking funeral service, I did everything I was supposed to do with that funeral service. And I did the service and I was grateful his parents were there. I was grateful his dad came. I was grateful his sister came because he had the largest impact in my life. I was there when he
Yeah.
needed people. I was there when somebody tried to drug poison him and kill him.
Yes, that's disgusting.
And that's literally how far and dark down the rabbit hole it went. He was
Mhm.
so afraid to drive his own car. He was afraid somebody in a fursuit was going to pop out of the back seat of his car and kill him.
Yeah, like I knew the second that I quit Furry Valley, when I premeditated it, when I made up my mind, I told my very close friends, "Hey, I'm quitting Furry Valley and I'm going to do things to seek justice for people who I think need justice." And I have hinted I may be banned, but if you still want to talk to me, my Telegram is open. But I'm going to do something that I feel is right, and those people I'm keeping anonymous because I don't want them to be banned from the server. But there are people who knew about this beforehand and did not throw me under the table. If I
Mm-hmm.
told Aurora this, she would have thrown this under the table faster than that. I knew if I told Soto that, it would have been thrown under the table. I knew if I told Nova that. Um, and what hurt me the most was when the T6 chat was talked about. Nova was actually really against me getting T4. What they wanted me to be is they wanted me to be a T4 without any T4 chats, without the banhammer, without anything. But pretty much I was just a lavish T3 with just a T4 ticker to make me happy. That would not have made me happy. That would have made me even more angry, more
Mm-hmm.
frustrated, and more insulted that they thought I was that smart. And I'm happy that my fans have warned me so many times. I'm like, well, if they don't promote me this time, they're going to regret it. I'm like, if they remove me, they're going to regret it. Well, now there's this shared EXP thing. I was fifth place, second place, and third place. And then I asked for a promotion. I asked for the same respect that they have given other people. I'm like, give me the same respect or else I'm quitting. I gave them that ultimatum, and then they're like, okay, cool, you're done. I'm like, fine, cool. Guess what? I'm gonna post my video and be honest with you guys. And then I was honest with them. You can read those YouTube comments of how they were towards me. You have those. You have both of those videos, right? Or no?
I don't know. He hasn't
Not
shared any
currently, I
videos.
don't think. But
Okay, I'll send you both of them. But
Yeah. Well,
And it was
and so
similar with me because they kept me T3 for a very long time, and pretty much when I was supposed to do what I was doing, which was informing them when people like spamming the chat and that, they was telling me off because I wasn't higher rank to be banning them, which is
yeah.
unfair because
Well, that's why I said the thing that got me about my group was literally after my partner's passing, everybody looked at me like, oh, there goes that whore, just because I was wearing a fox suit, and they didn't realize that, hey, assholes, the person who bought that suit was my partner before his passing. It was the last thing he sent me was my first fursuit.
And I'm so sorry for your loss. If you need
And
someone to talk to, I studied to become a mortician, so if you still are feeling that loss, I can always help you out.
yeah, but it's like, come on, you sons of bitches. Do you even
Hmm.
listen to why my character was created? My character was given to me. It was the last thing he gave me. I had no clue it was coming until literally the week of his funeral service. I get a freaking UPS notification. It's on its way.
Oh my god.
How's that for a, oh shit?
Hmm.
I mean, literally. When it showed up, I was just thinking, oh crap, it's something he ordered for me. What is it? I had no clue it was even remotely in there because I had seen this fox years ago. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. Somebody was building this fox. And then it vanished. And then it showed up on an eBay sale. Then it vanished from the eBay sale. Then it ended up going like to 3 different eBay sellers that were trying to put the thing together. And finally, one eBay seller put it together, and I was saving up to get it, and it vanished off the site. And I just immediately assumed it was gone. I had no clue he had even bought the damn thing. And I was just like, I was floored when I opened the box. I was like, oh shit. It's like I'm sitting there trying to do an unboxing video. I had to censor my unboxing video on my YouTube because it was just too personal and I did not want people involved.
yeah,
Hmm.
And it's like it just pisses you off. And then it's like my first convention I went to because he told me to go to all these conventions. My first dance comp in that suit is with the stuffed fox on the chair that he gave me. It's the last thing he gave me before he left to go see his family in another state. And that was sitting on the chair. And a lot of people just immediately poke fun at the video because at the end of the video they go, oh, he forgot to pick up the squirrel. And I'm like, it's not a squirrel, you cards. And then it's like I went to other conventions where I started to see how this was deteriorating and starting to happen and really got bad. It's just bad. And then I got to see panel hosts getting attacked at conventions. Holy
Hmm.
crap. How is that acceptable? I mean, really, how is that acceptable for somebody who's trying to teach you a performance art and telling you, hey, you got to watch what you're doing, you got to perform this way. That's why we have rules so that you don't get in trouble for these things. And then you have people in the audience tell that person, fuck you, I will do what I want to do and go suck dick. I mean, that's disgusting. They're there to help you. They're hosting a panel for you, and here you are attacking them and treating them like shit. And that's why my group started. My group, I had 14 people who agreed with me and left with me. I have one member who literally was brought in by the owner, and he's one of my admins and one of my trusted admins because of the fact of the matter is he got tired of it. He got to see the drugs, the alcohol, the booze. He got to see the people going camping and getting stoned off their ass. It's like
It's,
when you have people that are telling you, yo, dude, you need to do something. They should have listened. It's just appalling shit.
I didn't want people to think that like I'm lying, but at the same time, like luckily, I have someone else who can back me up, which is Peaches, because
Yeah.
you're just a neutral party of like what happened. And it's like with me, how often they talk smack about Peaches, and what they were trying to do with me and Peaches was they were trying to make me get annoyed with Peaches every time he talked to me. I would have to report back to Simba or T6, and so I was getting annoyed because I just had to always constantly inform them, and I was like, so, like that's why I ignored Peaches, was because I was like, I just don't want to be dealing with this extra paperwork because I'm trying to get this promotion. And so when I talked to Peaches and he's like, I want to come back into this group for this, and I'm like, don't do it, Peaches. And I told him that they didn't like him and that they found him retarded and all this shit and all the true things that they said behind his back. And I'm like, it killed me not to tell you. It killed me every time that they made fun of him. I could not say anything. Like, I wanted to stand up for Peaches so badly, but I couldn't, and it felt so wrong. Like with Dark Fox, I
Yeah.
couldn't do anything. With
Exactly.
Dark Fox, I couldn't do anything.
I think the main
With
reason it
Fancy,
started
I
out
couldn't do anything.
was because when I uploaded the first video about with Rapunzel, that got banned, they wasn't happy about that, and I remember that Simba pretty much told me to take that video down completely, no, not even private or anything. Take it down completely, and then I'll be allowed back in the server. And I think that's when he started hating me since then, probably. So let me back in the server, and then recently banned me again.
In a sense of the American way of cunt, not the UK way of cunt.
That's the common tactic right there. Let's go ahead and let's say we're cute and innocent in public. Let's go ahead and go to the media and tell them, oh, we're this great, wonderful people. And then in the background, let's go ahead and do all these mean-spirited bullshit things to people. I mean, it's terrible. When I was a part of the group that I was a part of, I almost wanted to puke because of all the fucking crap that was going on. It was literally, hi, I'm a pacifist. I'm looking the other way. And it was like, what the fuck? How do you run a group when you're looking the other way? When they get arrested and they are charged with something that's severe, like rape, sexual assault, murder, attempted murder, or something like that, then guess what they're all going to do? They're all going to indict you, you stupid jerk.
Yeah.
That's so disgusting. But
it's like, you dumbwads. It's like, use your head. And it's like every single flipping time, you try to bring up anything and be an actual human being with at least a shred of heart or decency, you would realize, yeah, there's something wrong and we need to address and fix it. But every time you try to bring up rules to this group, it was, oh, well, we don't create rules because nobody will come to our group and follow them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, geez, and you think that's maybe why you shouldn't be hosting a group, you jackass!
And that's why I
made me want to go grab a vomit bag and start upchucking.
Again, that's why I want to restate that, like, I looked out for Odin's back. Again, if they were going to paint me in a bad image, at least I have the information here that I was looking out for someone's back and respecting their wishes, where, we may not get along, but at least I was like, hey, I'm looking out for your back.
Yeah.
And again,
you don't always have to get along with somebody to look out for them. And see, that's the one thing that ticks me off right now with people, attacking him and stuff like this. Guys, he's 30 damn years old. He has the right to his own goddamn shit.
And
people have the right to be an adult. And if you don't like him being an adult, then tough shit. And see, that's the one reason why, that's the one thing that I find is funny, and people are always shocked with, like, Corey. And I'm like, you know what? the one thing why I find Corey very interesting is because of the fact that Corey sat there and even left the fandom because he got tired of it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I was
He's
asking for advice for how to make.
and for him to flat out see it and realize it's time to get out.
Yeah,
How
like
many people do you know actually see that? None. Most of them
exactly.
try to hold on to it for as long as possible.
hmm Like I was asking him, but oh, how can I get more Twitter followers? And he knows that I want to keep my fursuits as safe for work as possible because I want to get away from the porn industry completely, and I want to do YouTube and Twitch. Um, and so he told me, "Hey, cut a dick hole for your fursuits and do some mersuit content." And I'm like, "No, I don't want that type of content anywhere near my fursuits because I want to go to conventions and not be seen as a mersuiter. I want to go to conventions and be seen as a person that you can talk to, get to know to. I don't want that anywhere near my content.
And
I do it for OnlyFans, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but I will not ever do that to my suits. I will never disrespect the artists like that. I'm sorry, but if the artist says please don't use my content for mersuiting, I respect that wishes.
yeah, same thing with mine. I'm sorry, no, I won't. If I had a suit, no, I would never do that because a it's expensive. B there's no freaking way in hell I'm gonna cut a hole that big in the suit. I'm sorry, and yes, some people do it. Some people that's what they're into. I have no problem with that. Just please, god dang it, I'm tired of every time I log into social media to see some furry out there thinking that it's appropriate to upload naked images of themselves without any fucking realization of the consequences of what they're doing. And we're not talking adults, talking underage minors on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
And
this is appalling and disgusting, and Twitter won't do shit about it because Twitter has a policy in place that basically states you can upload adult content.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking puke here because I do not need to freaking be sitting down talking to one of my friends on Twitter, Twitch, or some other service, and then all of a sudden the next day on my timeline, here's a picture of somebody that they follow fingering themselves.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just disgusting.
And one
And
thing I know, it's
rank. I'm like, why, guys? If you're going to do that shit, and you are the correct age to be able to be recording and uploading pictures of that nature, do not do it on Twitter, please. Do it on another freaking site. Do it on an adult site where adults can go. God damn, do not do it on Twitter.
Like I went to AAC and there was this wonderful Sabrina cosplayer, and she was so shy, and I was like, "You look great as Sabrina." She's like, "Thank you so much for not calling me a fat pig," and I'm like, "Love, I I may be a lot thinner than you, but I'm on the same boat as you, where people say I'm too thin to cosplay,
Whoa.
and we
Oh,
related
pig? What the?
cosplay, cosplay. You know, dressing up as like a character.
It's messed up.
Yeah, so yeah, you
God,
can't be too fat.
crap, that's hell. I would never accept that.
Yeah, you can't be too fat or you can't be too thin. So like we became friends because of that. Because I was like, I understand exactly where you're coming from, and I'm like I don't like how people will just fat shame, and I'm like that's why. I was once offered to be part of the pit crew for RuPaul's Drag Race. I think it was season 10 or season 11. I was offered to be part of the pit crew, and I'm like, I'm sorry. I do not believe in the message of RuPaul Drag Race at the moment. I think you guys need a transgender women winner or somebody who is plus size to win the show for me to even consider being part of RuPaul Drag Race. Because for me, if I wanted to keep on doing the not safe for work content, I'd rather be on a platform that I agree that doesn't fat shame, doesn't is not transphobic, and let everybody have a fair shot at winning. That's why I love Survivor. That's why I love Big Brother. Is that it's all a social game. It's all if you fuck up, you fuck up. And I
Yeah.
want to thank you so much, Dingo, for taking your busy time to talk to and listen to my side of the story because, again, I know Peaches has talked to you about it. And thank you, Peaches, for giving me a platform
No
for
problem.
talking about this.
Well,
If you guys could
we've all
follow
been.
me.
I've
Yeah.
been there. He's been there. The
Mm-hmm.
two other members that are my admins have been there. They've seen what the hell happens. And the thing is that when you speak up, you're pretty much an outcast. It's goodbye. It's goodbye. Get lost. We don't want you around. Goodbye because you're speaking the truth. We don't want you around. We still want to cover it up.
Exactly. And hopefully I let other people who want to come out. And again, I don't care if Furry Valley comes after me. My name is
Yeah.
FallenGone. Come
Same.
after me. I don't care. Um, again, if you guys like the message, like the person who I am, I always look for people's better attentions, regardless of who they are, no matter what color they are, how many times they have wronged me. I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt. But if you have stabbed me too many times in the back, like Furry Valley did, like people and most of those admins who, try to be fake and be fake friendly. If you're that type of person, you know what? I don't need you in my life, and you can just leave me alone. We
Yeah.
all move on, and I hope some of these admins who are former admins will come out of the woodwork, and hopefully I do cause some type of movement. Again, it was only Peaches who was talking about it, and
Yeah.
then now it's someone you know, who has witnessed the bullying. I witnessed, the bullying of Peaches, the bullying of Dark Fox, which no matter how much of an apology I could probably go to every single furry YouTuber and say I'm sorry, Dark Fox. That would not be a big enough apology for what I participated in and what I did. I'm ashamed of myself for what I did and did not talk about it until now. And I'm still ashamed of myself to this day, and I will never forgive myself for what I did. And those people who are all prideful, like, oh, we got this person out. I am still sick to my gut for what we did and what we did to Fancy. And it's just like, they said to Fancy, oh, Fancy, Fortnite will be your section. And they pretty much promised me Dead by Daylight, and they just pretty much slapped me in the face, and they're like, no. Again, I I'm happy that I managed to put more light to what has actually happened with Furry Valley currently, and I'm hoping that I let other admins who want to talk about this have some type of platform, some way to really expose how bad Furry Valley is, because again, there is no way that a server like this should still be running where they have people bullying and they have a YouTube video about against bullying. They don't respect first
Yeah.
users' wishes of I want my content down off of their YouTube channel and my content's still up there. Again, I no longer want the branding Furry Valley around my name because it's not a brand that I no longer want to be part of.
No, and I always love that when they do their anti-bullying videos. Oh, we don't bully people. We accept every member of the community. We don't discriminate. And then completely do the opposite behind the scenes and tell people where to go and completely discriminate. So yeah, no, I've seen it. It always makes me laugh because it's like, oh, we're these kind, gentle people. We give to charity, and they produce all these charity videos and stuff to make themselves look good in the fandom. And people really should learn. You might want to actually get to know the person way before you believe the video on YouTube.
Well, before we end this video, you know what? Let's just go back to when I was a T1, and I'm gonna give you two a challenge that I gave Nova, which was completely shot down because of my spelling mistakes. I want you two to give me a word, and I have 30 seconds to make a poem out of those words.
Generosity.
Generosity, okay, and you, Peaches?
Overused.
Used. Used in generosity. Okay, start the timer now.
Go.
Nothing more heartfelt. Nothing more hurtful. Nothing that feels right sometimes listening to your heart is something solemn. Sometimes you have to do things like a present, slowly unwrapping it. Sometimes it's a heartfelt gift, and sometimes it's just coal in a stocking. Sometimes it is something that you need to believe in. There's something that you want. Sometimes opening a gift is a surprise, and sometimes that present is discovering who you actually are. Former competitive poet. Isn't that scary how fast I could think of a poem with 2 words?
Yeah.
But it's wonderful. Good job.
Thank you. I was like, okay, mentally prepare myself, put myself into a ball. But yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's how I sort of wanted to wrap it up because again, I was told I wasn't allowed to do it, so I want to show people that I can actually do it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's the same thing with me. You know, when I tried to get more people to come and, you know, give to charities and things like that, nobody wanted to come and do the work. Nobody wanted to come and see the people and come and have fun. It was pretty much exactly what I was expecting. The levels of debauchery that occurred and crap that occurred and turned into probably one of my greatest adventures in my life, and that was it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Well, thank you so much, Dingo, and thank you so much, Peaches. I'm
No
very
problem.
appreciative.
problem.
Sorry, I have to wrap it up so quickly. It's really late over here, and if I go to bed any
No.
later, I'm going to hate myself.
If you got to
Yeah,
go,
it's alright.
we're done. We're done here, and you know, I understand you got to work, and it's tough for our schedules to line up because I'm in the U.S., he's in Europe, and
Yeah.
you're in. Where are you from?
Boston. I'm from Boston. If you can't tell by my accent.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why the time zones don't line up. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Geez, oh my
yeah.
God. Yeah, no. Holy crap. Yeah, no. Then definitely, yeah, you need to get heading to bed, dude, because you
Yeah.
got to work that morning.
I know, but I definitely wanted to just say my piece of the story, and I'm
I'm actually
extremely thankful.
I'm actually glad you did because you know it brings up you know a lot of similarities that we've gone through with our different groups, and
Mhm.
it happens. You know, you just get these people that think that oh I'm the next hot shit in the fandom, and they end up just turning everything into a pile of manure.
And one thing I find sad with about Furry is when you criticize them, there's not many videos on YouTube about it.
Yeah, they never
And that's
take them
because you
down.
tell them to take them down.
Yeah,
Hmm.
we tell them to
And I'm
take it.
not taking down my videos. I'm
Yeah.
not taking them down.
That's why people went on Reddit and posted that post that you found a year ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Yeah,
try to bury all evidence that incriminate them, and me, I'm like, for me, I wanted to do the right thing, and we spent like I think a half hour of me just trying to convince you not to come back. I
Yeah.
don't know if it was a half hour or 45 minutes of just me just drilling into your head. Don't do this to yourself because I remember you crying, and I was
Yeah,
just
there
like
wasn't.
I
that's
I
what
was
I
like
said.
I can't do this again. I can't do this again. I can't watch peaches crumble in front of me, and I was like I can't do this again. Let me talk you out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, yeah, no, really think though we should be ending this video here because we don't want to go over Peach's hard drive size.
I've got enough
Uh,
hard drive lines.
Well, you also want to be able to actually be able to sit down and have a chance to upload such a wonderful video to your
Yeah.
followers on YouTube. It's
exactly.
just, yeah, and it's like you know I have more fun doing YouTube, and I've just been going from there on out. I do what I like to do. I'm not a monetized channel. I
Yeah.
don't like I don't like the monetization system because it doesn't make you a better channel. It makes you a worser channel because the only thing you're doing is sucking Johnson for money.
I mean, how I work with YouTube is, if I did get monetized, I wouldn't listen to it. I'd just still do my own thing. Because YouTube to me is more having fun and enjoy what you like doing.
Exactly.
That's what I'm going to be doing now too, is that I'm going to be focusing on my TikTok, and my Twitch and my YouTube, which is all the same. So I'm easy to find.
One thing I also found recently, which is going to be another video, is I recently found something the Furry Valley don't want people to know about. I found out their old Furry Valley, Furry Menagerie, the one before we changed it to Furry Valley. So that's going to be a fun video to do.
Yeah. I want to thank you all, though, for ladies and gentlemen, for stopping by. Thank you, Peaches. And thank you so much for FallenGone to come in here and to talk with us. I mean, we've all had our own experiences where we've had toxic groups that really need to go.
Yeah.
And it's not making the fandom any better. It's making it worse. More and more people are leaving every day, and it's kind of dangerous.
Yep.
So, but yeah.
Yeah, so that has been the Peachcast with Dingo, Fox, and FallenGone about FV. So I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Peaches signing out.
No.